In every city, there's always that one child. The one everyone mocks, the one teachers shout at. The one classmates laugh at. But behind his rough face, and his tired eyes, sometimes hides a pain no one can ever understand. This is the story of Emma, the boy they laughed at. Emma! Emma! Wake up, useless boy. It's 3 o'clock already. Do you think those newspapers will deliver themselves? Emma leaves with his stepmother Mrs. Ago. His mother passed away after giving birth to him, and his father Mr. Billy married Mrs. Ago years later, but Mr. Billy died after a few years, leaving Emma with his stepmother. Emma jumped up from the thin mat he called a bed. His eyes were red, and his body ached from the cane she gave him the night before. He rubbed his face and whispered softly to himself, "Yes, Ma. I'm coming." At just 12 years old, Emma had already learned how to carry pain in silence. He folded his torn school uniform neatly in one corner and pushed out his old bicycle. The tires were almost flat, and the chain squeaked every time he rode it. While other children slept peacefully, Emma pedaled through the dark city streets, delivering newspapers to his stepmother's customers. The roads were cold, the wind harsh, and his small hands trembled as he dropped each paper at every doorstep. From 3 a.m. till 8 in the morning, Emma rode from one street to another. From Ebony Road to Ishik Junction, from Quagga Layout to Presco Avenue. His legs burned from pedaling. His eyes begged for sleep. But he had no choice. Emma breathing heavily. Just 3 more streets, then I'll go to school. By the time he finished, his hands were black from newsprint. His clothes soaked in sweat, and his face covered with dust. He would rush home, take a quick bath in cold water, and put on his old, faded school uniform. The one everyone called Santa uniform because of its red stains and rough edges. Every day, Emma arrived late. The school gate would already be locked, and the security man would shake his head. "Security man. Emma again? You're always late, boy. You don't want to learn, ABI?" Emma panting. "Sir, I'm sorry, sir. It's not my fault." Security man. "Keep quiet. Go and kneel down there till your teacher comes." Emma would kneel outside the gate, as his classmates walked past him, laughing and whispering, "See Santa boy again. Always late." Classmate laughing. "Maybe he sleeps inside a newspaper shop." Emma smiled faintly, pretending not to care. But deep down, his heart burned. He wished, just once, someone would ask him why he was always late. "Emma! Stand up. Why are you late again today?" Emma say softly. "Sir, Teacher cutting him off. "Keep quiet. Every day, the same story. You're lazy, dirty, and careless. Go and kneel down at the front of the class." After school, when everyone else went home to eat, Emma would go back to his stepmother's small kiosk to help her sell newspapers till evening. Stepmother, yelling, "Where have you been? Lazy boy. Do you want my customers to go away?" She would hand him a tray of drinks or snacks, and he would run around shouting, "Mineral. Buy your mineral here." His feet hurt, his stomach empty. But he kept moving, because if he didn't, his stepmother would beat him again. One day, it rained heavily. Emma was soaked before he even reached the school gate. He shivered in the cold, clutching his books. The teacher saw him and sighed. "Emma, you again? You look like a rat that swam across a gutter." But as usual, he went to the front class kneel, waiting for the strokes of cane from his teacher as punishment, as he chevier with his wet tore uniform, as the students burst into laughter. It was a quiet Thursday morning. The city was just waking up, and Mr. Tisha, Emma's teacher, was on his way to the junction to buy bread and tea before school. He yawned, stretched his arms, and looked around his neighborhood. Then his eyes caught something unusual. A small boy was riding a rusty bicycle, his clothes wet with sweat. His hands blackened from newspaper ink. He stopped at one gate, dropped a rolled newspaper, then rode to the next. Mr. Tisha squinted his eyes and whispered to himself. Mr. Tisha surprises. Wait, is that Emma? He couldn't believe it. He stood there, bread in one hand, watching as the boy pedaled from one compound to another, sweating and panting heavily under the rising sun. Emma's school bag was tied at the back of the bicycle. His eyes focused, his legs moving fast, like someone running against time. Emma breathing hard, the thud of newspapers landing at gates. For a long moment, Mr. Tisha just watched in silence. He felt something move inside him, something heavy, something painful. He slowly walked closer to one compound where Emma had just dropped a newspaper. An elderly woman stood by her gate. Mr. Tisha politely. Good morning, Ma. That small boy, do you know him? Woman sighing. Ah, that one? That's Emma. He passes here every morning before dawn. Since 3 a.m., you'll hear his bicycle. He delivers newspapers till about 8 o'clock. Another man nearby joined the conversation. Man shaking head. That boy is really suffering. Sometimes I feel so sorry for him. I even doubt if he goes school SEF. Because I always see him from early morning till the sun come out. People murmuring in sympathy. Mr. Tisha stood there, speechless. He looked again down the street. And there was Emma, still pedaling, still delivering. His tiny frame almost swallowed by the big bicycle. The teacher's heart tightened. He finally understood everything. Why Emma was always late. Why he looked so tired and hungry every morning. For the first time since Emma joined the school, the classroom was completely quiet. No one laughed, no one whispered. Even the most talkative student, Femi, sat with his mouth open. The teacher's voice trembled as he spoke. Mr. Tisha. Children, listen to me. Never judge anyone because of what you see on the outside. This boy you've been mocking, this boy you laugh at every morning. He works harder than all of you. Students shifting in their seats. Every word sank deep into their hearts. The class prefect, Chioma, lowered her eyes in guilt. Chioma whispering softly. I didn't know. I thought he was just lazy. Emma stood still, his hands shaking. He couldn't believe what was happening. For the first time, someone was defending him. Mr. Tisha firmly. From today, no one should ever laugh at Emma again. Do you all understand? Students, in unison. Yes, sir. The teacher turned back to Emma and said. Mr. Tisha. Go and sit down, Emma. You're not in trouble anymore. From today, things will change. Voiceover. Emma nodded slowly, tears still in his eyes. He walked back to his seat quietly. For the first time, no one laughed at him. Instead, his classmates smiled and helped him open his books. That evening, after school, Mr. Tisha couldn't rest. He kept thinking about Emma. The image of that small boy riding a rusty bicycle before dawn wouldn't leave his mind. So, he made a decision. He would go and see things for himself. He followed the address Emma had written in his admission form. A small, old building at the corner of Ogbani Street. He knocked gently on the gate. Stepmother from inside. Who is that? Mr. Tisha. Good evening, Ma. I'm Emma's teacher. I came to see him. The woman came out. A tall, strong-looking woman with sharp eyes and arms folded. Stepmother, frowning. Yes? What is it? Mr. Tisha. Ma, I just wanted to ask about Emma's situation. I saw him this morning delivering newspapers. He looked tired and... Stepmother, cutting in harshly. And so what? Is he not a boy? He must work to earn his food. The teacher blinked in shock. He couldn't believe the coldness in her voice. Mr. Tisha calmly. But Ma, he's only 12. He wakes up by 3 a.m., rides for hours, and still comes to school. He's a child, he needs rest and time to study. Stepmother angrily. Look here, teacher. That boy is lucky I even let him go to school. He should thank me for giving him food and roof over his head. Her voice grew louder. Her words sharper than knives. Mr. Tisha realized arguing would only make things worse. He sighed deeply and turned away. But as he walked out, he heard a small voice from behind the house. A voice he could never forget. Emma's weak voice. Sir, thank you for coming. Mr. Tisha turned and saw Emma standing behind the gate. Wearing his faded school shirt, holding a stack of newspapers. The teacher smiled softly. Mr. Tisha. Don't worry, Emma. You won't suffer alone anymore. The next day at school, things were different. Emma walked into class, not with fear, but with quiet courage. His classmates greeted him warmly. Chioma. Emma, come sit here. I saved a seat for you. Femi. I even brought you meat pie, bro. You must eat before class starts. Students laughing softly, friendly chatter. Emma couldn't believe it. The same people who used to laugh at him were now his friends. He sat down, ate slowly. And for the first time in a long time, he smiled from his heart. But one person wasn't smiling. His stepmother. She noticed Emma now came home happier. And she didn't like it one bit. That night, after Emma came home from school, his stepmother was waiting for him. Her eyes were filled with anger. Stepmother, yelling. So you've now become a celebrity, ABI? Your teacher came here yesterday, right? You went and told him nonsense about me? Loud slap, Emma gasping softly. Emma trembled. He didn't speak. He just held his cheek, tears falling quietly. Stepmother furious. From today, you will not go to that school again. You will stay home and deliver all the newspapers yourself. She grabbed his school bag and threw it aside. Emma ran into a corner, crying silently in the dark, distant thunder, rain beginning to fall outside. That night, as the rain poured, Emma whispered softly to himself. Emma sobbing. God, please, help me. I just want to go to school. The next morning, while his stepmother was shouting at him to carry the newspapers, there came a loud knock at the gate. Stepmother annoyed. Who was knocking this early morning? Standing at the gate was Mr. Tisha. And beside him was the school principal, holding an official document. Principal calmly. Madam, we've come for Emma. The school has decided to support him. He will no longer live here. Stepmother shocked. What nonsense are you saying? He's my stepson. Mr. Tisha firmly. No, Ma. You lost that right when you started treating him like a slave. He's a child, not your worker. Rain easing, tension-filled silence. The neighbors gathered, whispering among themselves. They all knew how the woman had treated Emma. One of them spoke softly. Neighbor sadly. She no pity that boy at all. Let the teacher take him. The principal handed her the official adoption form. It was signed by the authorities, approved by welfare officers. Emma, standing quietly with tears in his eyes, looked at his teacher. Emma softly. Sir, are you really taking me with you? Mr. Tisha smiling kindle. Yes, Emma. From today, you'll live with me. You deserve peace, rest, and a chance to grow. Emma broke down in tears, but this time, they were tears of joy. The neighbors clapped softly as Mr. Tisha held his hand and walked him out of the compound. Peaceful morning, birds singing, distant children laughing. Life changed completely for Emma. He now lived with his teacher, ate good food, slept in a soft bed. And most importantly, he never had to wake up at 3 a.m. again. Every morning, Mr. Tisha dropped him off at school in his car. And Emma, for the first time, arrived early. His grades improved. His classmates respected him. And his story inspired everyone in the school. Even the principal would say during assembly, "Principal firm but proud." Let Emma's story remind us all. Never judge a child by what you see. Because every child has a story you don't know. Sound, applause from students. Years passed. Emma grew older, stronger, and wiser. He finished school with excellent results. And later became a journalist. Just like the newspapers he once delivered. Many years later, Emma stood before a group of students. Telling his story with a smile. Emma, confidently. "I used to come late to school every day. My teacher used to flog me until he found out the truth. That truth changed my life forever." He looked around at the young faces staring at him. Emma, smiling warmly. "Remember this, children. Every person you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind. Don't judge too quickly. And no matter how hard life gets, never give up. Because sometimes, the child they laugh at today might become the inspiration they look up to tomorrow." Glowing star moral lessons from the story. Never judge others by what you see on the surface. Every child deserves love, kindness, and understanding. One act of compassion can change a life forever. Teachers hold the power to rescue, not just to teach. And above all, no pain lasts forever when hope is alive. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget for like and subscribe, and let's discuss up comment section on what we learn about Emma's story.